Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. Today we are very happy to have the association of His Grace Gaurachandra Gopinath Prabhu. He will be sharing Bhagavad Katha from 4th chapter 4th canto 19 chapter 24 to 28 verses. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, how are you?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I am well. Am I audible? Clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu, it's clear to me. We can start, Prabhu.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Narantaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirahe Nastaptayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshati. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 19, entitled Prathama 100 Ketya. Text number 24 to 28. So you are able to see my screen? Yeah, right away.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Evam indre harati ashvam vainya yajya jidhamshaya tat grahita vitsrestu patandeshu matir nirnam dharma iti upat dharmeshu nagna rakta pata deshu prayena satyate varantya pasle sulta vagnisu. A translation purport by Shivan Krejesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In this way, King Indra, in order to steal the horse from King Prithu's sacrifice, adopted several orders of sannyasa. Some sannyasis go naked and sometimes they wear red garment and pass under the name of Kapalika. These are simply symbolic representation of their sinful activities. These so-called sannyasis are very much appreciated by sinful men because they are all godless atheists and very expert in putting forward arguments and reasons to support their case. We must know, however, that they are only passing as adherents of religion and not so in fact. Unfortunately, bewildered person accept them as religious and being attracted to them, they spoil their life. Purport. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, men in this age of Kali are short-lived, devoid of spiritual knowledge, and susceptible to accept false religious system due to their unfortunate condition. Thus, they always remain mentally disturbed. The Vedic Shastras practically prohibit the adoption of sannyasa in the age of Kali. This is will be one of the topic I'll be talking about it. Why in this age of Kali sannyasa is prohibited? Because less intelligent men may accept the sannyasa order for cheating purpose. Actually, the only religion is the religion of surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We must serve the Lord in Krishna consciousness. All other system of sannyasa and religion are actually not bona fide. In this age, they are simply passing off religious system, the most regrettable. This is most regrettable. Text number 26. Tat abhiyajna bhagavan pratuhu parakramaha Indraya kupito banam adyakyutya adatto yatya karmukaha. Maharaj Prithu, who was celebrated as a very powerful, immediately took up his bow and arrow and prepared to kill Indra himself because Indra had introduced such irregular sannyasa order. Purport. It is duty of the king not to tolerate the introduction of any irreligious system. Since King Prithu was an incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, certainly his duty was to cut down all kinds of religious systems. Following in his footsteps, all heads of the state should themselves be bona fide representative of God and should cut down all irregularity systems. Unfortunately, there are cowards who declare a secular state. Such a mentality is a way of compromising irreligious system. But because of the citizens are generally becoming uninterested in spiritual advancement, thus the situation deteriorates to such an extent that human society becomes hellish. Text number 27. Ritvaja Shakra Vadabi Santitam Vichakshaya Dushparekshayam Ashaya Ramhasam Nivaranyam Ashur Aho Mahamate Na Ichyate the Aran. Okay, 1 second.
I started sharing the Veda base, Prabhu. So if it's okay, we'll continue.
That's why no, I will share it.
Okay, I'll stop sharing.
Now, Prabhu.
Yes, I can see it. Yes.
Tam Ritvaja Shakra Vadabi Santitam Vikshaya Dushprekshayam Ashaharya Ramhasam Nivarayam Ashur Aho Mahamate Na Vijyate Atranya Vadaha Parakodita. Translation and purport. When the priests and all the others saw Maharaj Prithu very angry and prepared to kill Indra, they requested him, "O great soul, do not kill him, for only sacrificial animals can be killed in the sacrifice." Such are the directions given by the Shastras. Purport. Animal killing is intended for different purposes. It tests the proper pronunciation of Vedic mantras, and an animal being put into the sacrificial fire should come out of with a new life. No one should ever be killed in a sacrifice meant for satisfaction of the Lord Vishnu. How then could Indra be killed when he is actually worshipped in the yajna and accepted as part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Therefore, the priest requests King Prithu not to kill him. So, another text number 28. Vayamrutuvantam jarta nashanam avyamahe tvacharvasa hatasvisham ayatya mo pahvir anantaram parashakya rajan duha vamate hitam. Translation and purport. The King Indra, dear King, Indra's powers are already reduced due to his attempt to impede the execution of your sacrifice. We shall call him by Vedic mantras which were never before used. And certainly he will come. Thus, by the power of our mantra, we shall cast him into the fire because he is your enemy. By chanting the Vedic mantras properly in sacrifice, one can perform many wonderful things. In Kali Yuga, however, there are no qualified Brahmanas who can chant the mantras properly. Consequently, no attempt should be made to perform such big sacrifices. In this age, the only sacrifice recommended is Sankirtana movement. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Tatkurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Thapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandegam Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sadhana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sachitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sadhana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitam Cha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Vinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadeshatarine Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pratayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurapise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Sapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpataru Besha Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Yatkripa Tamaham Mande Shri Guru Srinadarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeswaram Hare Om Tat Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm really indeed blessed to have association of the devotees. So it has been said there are two ways one can get bhakti. One is that association of the Vaishnavas, another one is doing Vaishnava Seva. There is no other way one can get bhakti. If one can go directly to pray to the Lord, but Krishna has to give bhakti through one of his devotees. He can't directly give bhakti. So such is the potency of Vaishnava association and Vaishnava's blessings. So I seek all your blessings Today I don't have any qualification, but I just want to repeat what I heard from the superiors so that I can try to follow what I speak. So right now I'm not following, but my intention is that I will, since I speak, then I might follow a little bit. I seek your blessing, all the senior Vaishnavas assembled here. Today the chapter 19 is being produced 100 hour sacrifice. Text number 24 to 28 we are seeing. The theme predominantly what we are seeing is the false sannyasi. So Prabhupada is writing how people are cheating in this Kali Yuga by wearing saffron cloth, like how Indra had taken saffron cloth to seal the horses, not one time, multiple times. Every time he comes in different robes and try to kidnap the horse, then the rishis would see him, then Prithu or his son go and chase him. Again he runs away, again he comes again, multiple time. Why is the reason why Indra is doing that? Because he's scared he will lose his position. So he showed his envy and anger just because he might lose his position. So sometimes we also as a devotees want to keep up our, show something which we are not outside world. I want to be a great devotee. I am a great orator. I'm a great Bhagavata Katha, or I have this management skill, or I can do that. You might really have, but sometimes some images would have been created. In order to maintain that, he would keep that image constantly. So there might be a difference between reality and what is the perception we have created. So I've been thinking, when I got this topic, one thing came to my mind is, recent past I've been really trying hard to narrow down what is what is my originality, what is that I have really have Krishna conscious, what is that the other people are having pursued. There is no duplicity. I was trying to reduce the duplicity. In Krishna consciousness, it is very important that one should have no duplicity in the life. Because unless duplicity is there, there is no Krishna consciousness. So I was trying consciously reduce the gap between the duplicity and the reality between what I live. So please forgive me. This is not intended for anything, but this for my purification. I liked it. So today's theme will be predominantly talking about what is duplicity, and the solution is simplicity. What is simplicity? How do we adapt it so that this Krishna conscious we can progress in the Krishna conscious life. So that would be the theme. So in the text number 24 and 25, Prabhupada's first in the purport says, in this Kali Yuga, sannyas is prohibited. Then why do ISKCON and other Gaudiya mats, they propagate sannyas order? If you see that before Bhaktistan, Bhakti Vinod Thakur and other people, Mahaprabhu, there are very few sannyasis, predominantly are grihasthas. Then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur introduced the sannyas order, and of course Prabhupada. Then it contradicts. Prabhupada says that one should not have sannyas order in this Kali Yuga, but whereas he's been promoting and he himself took sannyasa. So how do we reconcile this based on this Shastra? Because sometimes one places Prabhupada writes certain purport, but he behaved, or it looks outside is contradictory. So another 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so, we will be talking about this two slokas. Why sannyasa, what kind of sannyasa is there, and what is that Prabhupada meant, what kind of sannyasa is prohibited. Now there is a quote in Brahma Vaivarta Purana. This is also referred in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, chapter 17, text number 164. Ashwamedam Gavalambam Sannyasam Phalapatikratam Deva Rena Sutotpatim Kalau Pancha Vivarjita Varjyet. So there are 5 things prohibited in this Kali Yuga. One is that offering a horse sacrifice, horse in a sacrifice, which we are seeing in this episode, Ashwamedha area, which Prithu Maharaj is trying to do. This is Kali Yuga, completely prohibited. The reason, because the horse needs to come back live as a young immediately. But here there is no proper brahmanas who can do that. That's why it is prohibited. They can't pronounce the Vedic mantras properly. That's why offering a cow, goat sacrifice. This is completely no. See, for the same reason. Then third one is the acceptance of sannyasa, the topic which we are discussing today. And fourth one is offering a flesh in the oblation. The forefathers, when we do Pitra, this one functions, then the people is to offer the hunted boar or some wild animals, whatever being hunted in the forest, they allow to sacrifice as per Vedas. But that is something prohibited in Kali Yuga. And the fifth one is begetting a child through the husband's younger brother. So these are the 5 things prohibited. So what is that Prabhupada gives explanation, answer to it, or how do we reconcile this? Is one sloka Bhagavad Gita, beautiful sloka Prabhupada talks about what is actual sannyasa in 6.1. Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sa sannyasika yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyaha. One who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as the obligated in his renounced order of life, and he is true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no work. There are 2 kinds of sannyasa Prabhupada clearly talks about. What sannyasa here Prabhupada refers to, which is prohibited, is the people who lights no fire and performs no work. It's like market vairagya. So the monkey lives in the tree, doesn't have anything, but always anxious about the material enjoyment. He always thinks about the sense gratification. Similarly, the so-called yogis and the people who renounce order of everything, they go to the forest and they try to meditate, but they are contemplating on the sense object, how to do that. That is not, that sannyasa is prohibited. But the Yukta Vairagya, what Prabhupada gave in ISKCON, or the sannyasa is what we have in our ISKCON. This is called Yukta Vairagya. They were not sitting idle, but utilizing everything in Krishna's service. That is allowed. Why it was prohibited in Kali Yuga? This is because people can misuse it. They may not deserve, but they might dress like that. Prabhupada Lilamrita, one time he says that in Bengal he was seeing people just for begging purpose, they just immediately put saffron cloth and go and do it. Whereas they may not have that real caliber or whatever they want to achieve it. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we know that there is a case, there is a Baba who has been, he has the mystic power, but he was trying to still doing sense gratification. The British government also asked Bhaktivinoda Thakur to solve that problem. He was running pillars and posts. He is not ordinary Baba, but he also had a lot of power. Bhaktivinoda Thakur personally has to suffer, his family has to suffer, they all got ill. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur finally made a justice because he wanted to prove that there should be no duplicity. Because some people in the robe of sannyasi, they're trying to do that, come whatever. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has fought against this duplicity. So similarly, we can see that here, Prithu Maharaj, there is no difference. Actually, we need to understand from this pastime, but most of the Indra is projected as somebody who is a wrong person doing wrong things. The bottom line is not he is a Vaishnava, he is also serving Krishna on his capacity. Why he has to do sacrifice? Why he has to steal? Why he has to come in the different robe as a duplicity? That's because he has been given some service as an Indra to do some activity to seva. So he also want to protect his naturally his position, whatever given to him. There is nothing wrong. Of course, the means he adopted, that may be, but this is simply a lesson. We should not look into why Indra did like this, where the Prithu Maharaj, why he was trying to do 100 yajna, he's already Krishna conscious, why he was ambitious. So both type of arguments we might see, but the underlying point is that Indra is a Vaishnava. So we need to see that this is a lesson for us. In our life, how do we take this lesson into our life? How do we adapt it? That's more important than why he did that, getting into a reason why, what is the reason. So this is predominantly for us not to adopt duplicity in our life. So there are 4 stages in sannyasa. One is Kutichaka, Bahutaka, another one is Parivejakacharya and Parahamamsa. This is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Kutichaka is a person who goes out of his village, just outside his house. He makes a kutir and food still comes from his house. And he tried to become a sannyasi. Already in the sannyasa order, but he is trying to follow that. Bahutaka is a person who comes out of this house, but he goes for Madhukari. He begs, he doesn't depend on food from his place. And Parivirkacharya is a person who would go travel around and preach the Krishna conscious movement. That's why we see a lot of Parivirkacharya, Paramahamsa title given to our, when we do Premadhvani also, we say Parivirkacharya, Stotra, is given praise like that. So these are the people who go out and preach, depend on only on Krishna, mercy, and Paramahamsa is one at the final stage where, like a swan, it can segregate water and milk. Though they are Paramahamsas, they good and bad, they just focus on Krishna consciousness. So this kind of sannyasa, or Parivirkacharya, who can go and spread this message all over the world, then they can take the sannyasa, not the other sannyasa where Markat Vairagya, they renounce everything falsely. That is prohibited in the Kali Yuga. So that's how we can reconcile this message, how sannyasa is prohibited in the Kali Yuga. So we can see the root cause of it and few examples based on these stories. Then we can understand this simplicity, how the simplicity one should live to progress in Krishna consciousness. In Satya Yuga, we know that this example of what Indra is doing, it happened in Satya Yuga, stealing a horse. First time, in order to achieve something, he changed his dress. Then Brahma came and chastised, in fact, in saying one sense, advised him saying that to keep on giving hindrance to his post and keep on changing his dresses, duplicity is more becoming duplicity to hold his position. You are already devotee, why you want to have this ambitious program of doing 100 yajna? Give it up. So that's one thing we can see. If you try to force some devotees or some putting situation where their position or their seva is affected, then they have to try different means. That's another reason we can understand why this is happening. So the solution is simplicity. So in the Satya Yuga, we say this episode. In Treta Yuga, in Ramayana, there are many episodes happen like this. One example I heard in the lecture when I was preparing for the class is this Hanuman and Kalaneni. Hanuman was tasked with to get this herbs from Himalaya, so that Sanjeevani needs to be brought. So he doesn't know whom to ask, so he was flying closer to Hanuman. Then Ravana sends this Kalaneni as a demon, saying that you stop Hanuman from taking this, confuse him. But this Kalanemi imposed him as an imposter, as a Rama devotee. He put a saffron cloth and started chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. So Hanuman flew. Then he stopped and said, who's chanting Ram Lord now? Then he paid obeisances and he asked him, can you please help me with this task? And he said, yeah, I will definitely help. I know what to do. But you are really tired. Go and take bath and come. Then he said, Hanuman, I don't have time. But he said, no, you are tired. You can go fast again. So just go and take bath and come quickly. I will help you. Then then Hanuman went and take bath in the nearby lake. That time there was a crocodile which tried to caught Hanuman. So Hanuman killed. Then as soon as he killed the crocodile, it became a beautiful devata. And he started telling, the person whom you are talking is duplicity. He is not a real sannyasi. He is pretending to be like that. Please be careful. So then Hanuman comes and kills Kalaneni. This is one episode where we see that people pretend, take the robe of this sannyasa to cheat the people. So this is started when Indra started this. So the Mahajana, whatever he does mistake, and people also take it for granted. So that's what happening here. The second episode also, third episode also, we can see that Ravana himself changing as a mendicant and is trying to take away his mother Sita. That also we have seen. And also we have seen that Indra again taking Gautama Rishi, Agalya story, we also see that he comes in disguise as a Rishi and try to meet Agalya. So in that's happened the Treta Yuga. And Dwapara Yuga also we can see from Krishna Lila, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is used for duplicity. The demon which is represents duplicity is Bakasura. Even though this Bakasura bird looks very simple, duck or swan looks very simple, no harmful. But intention, if we see that internal intention is he wants to keep Krishna, king Krishna. So that's a duplicity Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining. So when Krishna tried to go there, it was just waiting for the right moment so that it can just swallow Krishna. Agasura is another was Demon trying to swallow Krishna. But before this, Bakasura can swallow Krishna. Krishna is kind of a generated heat. He is a mystic yogi. If you can see, Mother Parvati has created a lot of energy to kill herself when she was insulted. So similarly, Krishna is yogi. From the digestion power, he can create such a energy or such a hot that it can't sustain. So Krishna immediately created such a heat that Bakasura could not able to even swallow. So he just spit it out. Then Krishna immediately took a chance and he broke open the beak and he splitted the beak and he killed this demon Bakasura. So this is another example of duplicity. We can understand symbolically representing it, waiting for something which is not. There are some people we talk very sweetly, politely, and their intention might be different. So we need to be careful. The other example in Kali Yuga we can see from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Leela Chotaridas Thakur story. So Chotaridas Thakur was a sannyasi servant, disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This episode happened in the Puri, and one time he begged and he looked at one particular Mataji and with ill-minded. That's all he did mistake the mental offense. But Mahaprabhu said, I don't want to associate with him. And many devotees trying to ask him, but Mahaprabhu said, no, I don't want to associate with this person simply. So 1 year passed by, waited. Then finally, Mahaprabhu was very adamant not to meet him. Then Haridas, Chotaridas could not able to tolerate separation of Mahaprabhu, even though he did a small offense. But then he has to went and he committed suicide in the Triveni Sangam. And when Mahaprabhu had inquired where is Chotaridas Thakur, then Mahaprabhu said he's getting what karmic reaction for whatever he's done it. So like that Mahaprabhu used to tell. So later it has been Prabhupada has mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that he got the body of a Gandharva and he came and sang because he is one of the top singers in that 7 groups, whatever he is, Mahaprabhu, and his seva is to sing nicely. So he came in the photo, you can see that he came as a Gandharva, invisible to others, but Mahaprabhu could able to use him because he came regenerated for this mystic practice that he committed suicide. That is a punishment for a sannyasa. Why Mahaprabhu has so strict a person who is mentally did little offense, but why he was so strict about it? And that's why this Prabhupada is clearly giving his Chaitanya Charitamrita 3rd Antya-lila, 2nd chapter 172. There are 7 reasons why Mahaprabhu did that. One is that taking advantage of Chotaridas Thakur, many devotees will keep it illicit sex, illicit relationship, saying it's okay, Chotaridas had, Mahaprabhu has forgiven it. The second one is set a standard for Acharya, that any one Acharya in the parampara, how they should behave when the incident happens. One should be very strict, set a high standard. So Mahaprabhu exhibited that. Third one is devotee should be simple. They should not be complicated. To set an example, what happens is a slight deviation caused the association to lose. Slowly what happens, one of the 4 regulative bricks or in the form of other way, then what happens slowly our sadhana comes down, then we lose association, and we lose association, then we fall gradual. So this used to happen. So devotee should be really frightened, really should be fear of the Maya, or fear of not committing, for not following the 4 regulative principles. Should take it very seriously. It's not take it very light. Okay, it's a small, what is that if I just mentally think what happens? So this is to give an example for real-time example of Mahaprabhu has done it. The correction, because he loved so much Chotaridas Thakur. Most of the time we say God is giving punishment, Krishna is giving punishment. Why bad thing happened to us? Krishna never punishes anyone. He gives a mercy. His correction, even in killing Putana Agasura, it is not a punishment. It is just correcting it because he loves them so much. It is an opportunity for us to correct ourselves, learn something. So this is never a punishment. So Mahaprabhu never gave a punishment. This is the atonement for him to commit suicide so that he can get a new body, and in this new body he can continue to do seva. So Mahaprabhu accepted him once he came as a Gandharva. Because in the Gandharva body they can associate with men, women, but at the same time he can do the seva like that. Then he committed his suicide in the higher place where Triveni Sangama, then he got a highest body. Then he also goes back to Godhead, even though he fall down from his position. Mahaprabhu ensured that he went back to Godhead. So from all these examples, what we can see is that why emphasis was not given to sannyasa. At the same time, especially in this context for the devotees to apply is that we also try to reduce this duplicity. Most of the time, we also wear different garments, different robes, different title, saying that I am that, I am this, I am behaving like this. That duplicity should reduce. Whatever we are, we try to exhibit outside as well. Internally, that will help us to progress in Krishna conscious life. Otherwise, like Chotaridas Thakur, internally was different, externally was different. A slight difference, how he fell down. So that's a practical example Mahaprabhu is trying to explain to us from this Chotaridas episode. And also there is one lecture Prabhupada that given on Srimad Bhagavatam 121-2 at Rome. This is story about Gautama Rishi and Jabala. Why we need to be simplicity? So this Jabala is a prostitute. His son is called Satyakama. He had a desire to go and meet Gautama Rishi and become his disciple. So Gautama Rishi asked him, "Who are you? Who's the father here? What Gotra you are?" Then he said, "I don't know. I will ask my mother." The Jabala was a prostitute. So he went to ask his mother. Mother was honest. "And I don't know to whom you are born. I really don't know." Then Jabala went back, Satyakama went back to his guru saying that my mom told she doesn't know. Then he said, "You must be a Brahmana's son because you are speaking the truth. You are not hiding anything. I will accept you as like that." So the simplicity gives way. Like most of the time, when we see this Mataji's are very simple. They take it up to Krishna consciousness. If it's possible, yes, they take it. If not, it is not. But most of the time, we try to complicate things. If the simplicity is not there, attaining devotion is very, very, very difficult. So when simplicity is there, then we don't want to duplicate ourselves and things like that. So that is on the simplicity part of it. And there are other two slokas. Quickly, I will touch upon 5 minutes, then we can have, if you have any comments or questions, we can do that. The 26 sloka talks about Daivi Varnashrama Kalau Sudra Sambhava. So there is again one contradiction in this. Prabhupada says that, we're talking about the sannyasa order. Is it really this Chaturvarna Mayasishtam Guna Karma Vivavashaha Satya Kartaham Apimam Vidya Kartaram Avyayam? Krishna says, I created this Varnashrama system. And one place you see Prabhupada is writing, Kala Sudra Sambhava, everybody in Kali Yuga is Sudras. Then should we follow Varnashrama Dharma, or everybody is Brahmana, everybody is Sudra? What is the sannyasa order? Why it is so important? So the theme, what I want to convey is that the Varnashrama alone is not spiritual. Unless this 4 Varnas in ashram, whatever it is we're trying to classify or trying to become, unless it is clubbed with Krishna consciousness, unless there is Krishna is there, the simple performing a pure Varnashrama alone will not help. That is not a spiritual alone. So here Prabhupada talks about when Varnashrama Dharma, that everyone performing their duty as well as engage in Krishna consciousness. Then this Varnashrama becomes fructify and it can give you to love of Godhead. But simply following Varnashrama alone without Krishna consciousness, this is not helpful. So Mahaprabhu says that in Madhya Lila 13:18, Naham Vipro Nacha Nara Patir Napi Vaishyo Na Shudro Naham Varni Nacha Graha Patir No Vanasto Yatirva Kintu Prodyan Nila Paramananda Purna Matrabi Gopi Bhartu Pada Kamalayo Dasa Dasa Dasanu Dasa. So in this Mahaprabhu says, I am not a Brahmana, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya, I am not a Shudra, nor a Brahmachari, householder, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. I identify myself as the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. So Mahaprabhu's statement is that we are all in this Kala. Why Prabhupada writes it Kala Sudra Sambhava is that many of these people who was born, and there are various definitions Prabhupada gives, but one reason what Prabhupada gave, I was like it. This age of Kali, everyone is Shudra due to the absence of Garbhadana Samskara. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto 21 time. This answer one thing which struck me, that whenever we see most of the people born, there is no samskara is done, there is no Krishna conscious activities performed. That's why most of the level of Shudras, but Prabhupada mercy is trying to make us Brahmanical initiation, come to a Brahmanical standard. So that's Prabhupada mercy because of this helping with Krishna consciousness, performing this Varnashrama, definitely we can progress towards Brahmana quality or whatever it is. So that's Prabhupada's pure mercy which is happening. So the summary of this Devi Varnashrama system or Kalau Shudra Sambhava reconciliation is, yes, Kali Yuga, most of the people are Shudras because there is no samskaras being performed, there is no Krishna conscious activity. But Prabhupada mercy, we are people able to perform this Krishna conscious activity along with that, whatever Varna Ashrama we are trying to do, Grahastha, Vashnama, whatever it is. But Mahaprabhu adopted sannyasa purely because he didn't want to do that. He knows that people are seeking religion here in Kali Yuga, but people will listen to him. That's the only reason he took sannyas. And Prabhupada was a perfect Varnashrama follower. Even though he did not go to Gurukul, he lived a life which is very perfect as a brahmachari, and he did a perfect grihastha. Then he did a perfect Varnashrama, Varna, then the Ashrama, then he took sannyas. Prabhupada was systematic in his doing things. So this is a quick practical application. This is I've taken from Samskara book, and there is a mail from Banu Maharaj, Jayapurkar Swami Maharaj. This very scientific thing, why this Garbhadana Samskara is very important. It has been mentioned. So it is very scientific process, but simple Prabhupada letter on 1969 is that both husband and wife should chant at least 50 rounds before performing this Garbhadana Samskara. This is the Prabhupada standard set. The conscious level on which, because the soul which enters in the womb, not at the birth, it is at the time of the conception. So Prabhupada has emphasized it, and also there are a lot of astrological calculation where on what are the dates one should perform this between the 6th, 7th day of the menstrual period of the woman till 16th day it is allowed. Then 11th and 13th days are prohibited. And also there are a lot of tithis, Ekadasi, full moon, new moon, Ashtami, Chaturdasi, Sankranti. These are some of the zodiac signs. There are some days it is prohibited and some nakshatras is prohibited. If you see that photos are all those things, in 2-3 months once you might get a one day, probably to conceive a baby or something like that. And after chanting 50 rounds, praying to the Lordship, then you see that, all which one will be a Prahlad Maharaj. They all will make a revelation as this. That's what Prabhupada says in this Kali Yuga, Shudra means there is no Brahmanical standard. So all this Prabhupada mercy, there are a lot of things Prabhupada has written. We should, as a Grahasthas, especially we are a lot of congregation devotees, explore this, teach the upcoming devotees so that we can have a nice progeny and nice Krishna conscious devotees. And this is our duty as well as a Grahastha. One should become a parent if he is not able to deliver his kids in the Krishna consciousness. It is also a responsibility, all of us, to learn more about the samskaras, especially this Garbhadana samskara which Prabhupada talked about. And another 2 minutes I will wind up with the last 2 slokas, which is 27-28, predominantly talks about in this Kali Yuga only Sankirtana is the recommended process. In Skanda Purana, wonderful sloka comes. Whatever potency to avoid auspiciousness and destroy sin may be found in the performance of charity, penances, austerities, visiting holy tirthas, worshipping demigods, performing Rajasya or Ashwamedha sacrifice, or attainment of knowledge related to the soul. The same all the potency has invested just by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in this Kali Yuga, just by chanting Harinam, it can equal to doing performance of charity, Ashwamedha, austerities, visiting holy places. This can be understood by a simple story. I would end with a simple story. This is there in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2, story of Nirga. This king was a very pious king. He would give thousands of cows in charity. It's not just simple giving cows. the horns will be gold plated, and the hooves will be silver plated, and he would give beautiful silk cloth, and he would give and he would not just give 1 or 2 cows, he would give in lakhs. So one Brahmana, one time he gave 1 lakh cows. There was another Brahmana who gave another 1 lakh cows. But unfortunately, what happened? One cow, the first Brahmana whom he gave, it ran back to the third of king's palace. Nobody noticed it. One cow just came back, and he donated the cow. The first Brahmana came to know about it, and he came and king complained it, saying that 1 cow you gave, now I lost it, you did not give. The second Brahmana also came to know that. He says that one of the cow you gave, okay, both of them came to king and they were asking. Then first Brahmana said, you have to give me back 1 cow. The second Brahmana, king told, why don't you give that cow? I'll give you another 1 million cows if you want. Second Brahmana said, no. Brahmana quality said, once I need to take, I'm satisfied, I will not take another charity. And if you give 1 less, what will happen? You already committed 1 lakh, you give 1 less. There is no rule that in Shastras that once you give donation, you can ask for it. You're asking back, that will lead to more problem. I will not give that cow. So like that, both were discussing, his life ended, and he ended up in a desert, in a well. So Krishna's sons were playing, they were really wanted. They went and saw this lizard, and Krishna liberates him. Then he narrates this story of how perfectly you do charity. Then there is always lost this Varnashrama Dharma. Without Krishna consciousness you followed, this is the result you will get. But whereas Swalpamasya Dharmasya Trayate Magato Bhaya, even slightly chanted Namavas, Krishna's name, not really calling Vishnu, Narayana, Ajamila spoke, it's called out his son. But you can see that Neha Vikramana Stosti, Rakhya Vayona Vikyate, Swalpamasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhaya. Guaranteed he got a human life. Prabhupada writes in the purport, what is Trayate Mahato Bhaya? He says that at least you will get a human birth, that is guaranteed by doing wrongly, also calling out Narayana. Rather than perfectly doing all your charity, you can see what happened to the story of Nirga. Of course, because of this fighting family being liberated by Krishna, that's a different pastime. But predominantly those who perfectly do Varna Ashrama system without Krishna consciousness, there is no hope. To summarize that, we just saw the simplicity is the solution for devotees. Try to reduce it, become without duplicity. Then Krishna consciousness can be easy. And why the sannyas is prohibited, what kind of sannyas is prohibited, we saw with various examples. And in Kali Yuga, everyone is Rudra Sambhava. At least devotees try to follow this Garbhatana Samskara. Prabhupada very seriously talks about that. How can we come above the Shudra level? So some practical application we found. With this, I would stop here for any comments or corrections. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful presentation on the very important theme of duplicity with simplicity. Thank you for walking us through the details of what a sannyasi is and what a sannyasi is not, and the wonderful examples for us to kind of really understand very deeply. And devotees can unmute themselves to share any reflections, or if they have any questions, they can ask Prabhuji.
Prabhu, what is RCA you have given? What does it mean?
Where?
Below the slide.
Where?
In the maybe one of the slides where you're giving examples, just before that you put RCA. There.
Root cause analysis. What is the root cause?
Root cause.
Now, why Indra was trying to cheat? There are two things. The tendency to cheat is, okay, I forgot this good point you reminded me. There are two reasons why Prabhupada says that this cheating propensity comes, duplicity. One is that we are anchoring something, some position. That's why Indra's case where Agni was showing it. Second thing is, most of them are atheists. Even though some people call theists, they understand God, they're not really theists. What happens is they worship some Baba, or they worship the light. They misunderstanding Bhagavan, who is not a Bhagavan, who doesn't understand who is Bhagavan, is also another person of atheistic only. Even though you believe in God, does not mean that in a high level definition we see atheistic people. Atheistic includes a portion of people who don't understand perfectly. There are four defects in this Kali Yuga: the tendency to cheat, become illusioned, and those four things Prabhupada talked about, right? So this tendency to cheat the people, because they look for material happiness, they look for material things, and they look for a leader. Then there's a sannyasi who will give 5,000, I'll bless you with so much thing. Then go to the cheating group. So because I wanted to get cheated, I get a cheating group. Krishna satisfies whatever you desire. If you are really looking for a real guru, Krishna, you are the bhakta, then take a guru, Krishna will send the proper guru. But people want to get cheated. It's not that Krishna's problem. There are so many bogus people. Why there are so many bogus people? Because you wanted it. Krishna is trying to fulfill that desire. So the root cause for this tendency to cheat. People are attached to the material. They attach to the bogus way of worshipping, understanding the God, maybe Baba or a life. So Krishna sends accordingly the bogus people to get cheated down. So that's what they wanted it. That's one root cause. Second thing is holding on to the position or whatever seva. There is disturbance to the current situation, then they envy or get anger. They try to become duplicity or try to maintain that. These are the two reasons from this story we can summarize. Then the solution is that simplicity which I talked about.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Gaurachandra Gopinath Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a very nice class on the day of Dwadashi Prabhuji. I have one doubt, Prabhu. You mentioned about duplicity, that having something inside the heart and behaving differently. That is essentially a duplicity, as I understand. Prabhuji, here I have one doubt, Prabhuji. We have anarthas, at least I have a lot of anarthas in my heart. And in the name of simplicity, I cannot exhibit all the anarthas, right, Prabhuji? My sincere wish should be to clear the anarthas. So how should I understand this duplicity, Prabhuji? I could not understand that part.
The definition of duplicity is that most of the time when nobody is seeing around you, nobody is watching. If you are same Krishna conscious level, when you are outside also, then there is no duplicity. You don't need to worry about it. But when nobody is watching it, you are not the same conscious. There is a difference when you meet different. Of course, when you meet devotees, we get enthusiasm, we try to perform more. But there is a back end, at least you're conscious that you're trying to work out to reduce the gap between what you speak, what you preach, or what people perceive. And people always love two lives, right? One is internal life, personal life, another one is outside life. If there is no difference between external and internal, well and good. If not, at least we make the proposal what I'm making is at least make an attempt to reduce it. You may not expose immediately outside. But that's why we have a devotee care system or other system where we can confidentially speak nectar of devotion talk, nectar of instruction talk about the Tulsiya Master. That's why these slokas are given. You don't open up to everyone, but at least you speak to a counselor, get a remediation what I need to do. By speaking itself, you get a remediation because you told him and you try to follow. That's one thing. Otherwise, also people try to definitely bridge the gap. Let's make an attempt. So which I have a lot of things. That's why I'm conscious in making an attempt to reduce this gap between my personal life and the outside life, what people perceive though. So these are the two things I follow, but yeah, whatever applicable.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Understand, Prabhu.
Because from this example, Krishna consciousness is not for people who have a duplicity. Mahaprabhu is very clear in Chotaridas after episode. So we see all these examples. Krishna consciousness is very difficult if we have a duplicity. Only simplicity, through simplicity we get Krishna consciousness. It's easy to obtain Krishna consciousness. Otherwise it's very difficult. In wrong then we might fall down. Too much duplicity, the gap is big. Slowly they might, anarthas will come and there might be chance of falling down.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to share anything or any questions they have? Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhuji, I think we can conclude. Thank you again for your time and effort in giving us this presentation. Definitely a lot of personal application points and many pastimes from the scriptures that clearly identify what is duplicity and how to avoid it and how to be guardful of it. Thank you very much.
I also
for your
seek
time.
forgiveness from the devotees if I have spoken anything inappropriate for what I am supposed to speak. Please forgive me. Thank you very much.
कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Nitai Gaur Premanand Hari Bol.
So we'll conclude here. We'll meet again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.